Hello everybody, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be complaining about MX bikes. I thought that it'd be a good time to, right after the holidays, not actually the holidays, but the holiday. Merry Christmas to everybody. Hopefully you guys had a good Christmas, had a good time with your families and whatnot. Christmas was indeed very fun for me, and it was just one of the better Christmases. So hopefully you guys have the same situations. And yeah, but I thought we could start to kind of spoil Christmas, or I guess as we head towards New Year's. So I'm actually gonna be complaining about the game quite a bit in this video. So if you don't care for the complaints or whatever, then I recommend you click off right now, because there is just this is just going to be a video purely for complaining. And I know some people like to hear the complaints and kind of give their thoughts on it, and yeah, feel free to do that, by the way, in the comments. I will make sure to kind of address that and try to answer as many of you guys as I can and or want. If you guys are a little bit out of line, then maybe I might not respond. But yeah, I guess the one thing we were talking about right now, I'm on a paid track right now, and there's been multiple tracks recently that have been released to MX Bike Shop, which is a good and bad thing. We're getting track production, but they cost money. It's to the point where just for about any good track, we have to spend money on it now. And I'm not saying that all we get is bad tracks on the MX Bikes mods, but when was the last time that you guys were very psyched and thrilled with a great track that came off the MX Bike site? Exactly. It's just you can't find anymore, and people have moved away from making, tracks like that instead of, instead of taking their time and whatnot, and just releasing it when they think it's ready. They do the extra 10%. And maybe it's a compound, or maybe it's a really sick track design, or maybe it's a really clever replica, maybe it's something like that, and they're like, oh, this is good enough to post it for $2. And yeah, it just sucks, because we just don't get too much tracks that are good that aren't paid. Like, we barely get any free tracks anymore that are I hate to say this, kind of worth the while, though. Like, I'm on a paid track right now, and I'm happy that we have the option to pay for goated tracks like this, with some of the best textures, some of the best tracks, honestly. Everything is great, but now you're coming out with like Coastal MX, you're bringing out all that stuff for $2 a pop, and it's just not even worth it. And then, can we talk about the Aerial series? Why the hell are we paying for the Aerial series at $1.50 for 31 rounds? 31 rounds, I say that because of the new Super Motocross. Super Motocross series is 31 rounds. And 31 rounds, $1.50 each? I don't even have to tell you guys that's a lot of money for freaking tracks. To race tracks in this game. You have to pay so much money. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And yeah, it's just awful that you have to pay a lump sum of cash. To be specific, I think it'd be $46.50 for a whole entire series. You're paying that. That is freaking ridiculous. I don't even think I have to explain myself. I understand people do hard work. I understand people put time into it. I understand all that. All right, I'm not saying that they don't deserve to be paid, but $1.50 for 31 rounds, I'm not buying a single track. And I know that's really gonna suck, because I really would want those tracks. They're great tracks, But $1.50 to exclusively get replicas on the series and AMA, it's so ridiculous. I kind of just, it's so stupid. All right. Like I said earlier, the lack of tracks that we're getting right now, as is awful. Every single track that's worthwhile comes out in the shop for $2, and I'm not gonna just keep spending $2 when you might have to buy $46 worth of a goddamn series, if that makes any sense. It's just so ridiculous that we're even at a point right now in a video game Not as small as this one, I'm not saying that. To a point where you have to pay basically a subscription, a yearly subscription. Meaning you pay $46 every single year if they keep the rates the same. And if it's a 31 round series every season and he keeps doing the replicas, Stone Rider that being, we're going to have an issue. It's so stupid that he's coming out with this series. That is $1.50 each. If I were to do anything, I'd make it 50 cents for the track and then another 50 cents for a pro race entry. I understand if that's complicated. You can't do the pro race entry. Like if you want to hop into qualifying, there's got to be a buy-in. And I'd say like 25 cents maybe even for that, because you get so many entries. And not everybody, and you're paying 75 cents a track, which doesn't even seem like much, but trust me, whoever the hell is making the tracks and making the profit off of it, that'll be bank. 75 cents a track, and all the entries, don't even get me, like, okay, that is ridiculous. You're still making a lump sum of cash. It's just to the point where it's gotten a little out of hand, and nobody's, or I guess everybody, is working a little too hard to go the extra 10% to make sure that the track is good enough to be paid for, to the fact where we're not getting any sort of free track availability. We have no new tracks that, I hate to say it, that are, you know, quite the quality we used to see. Now we're just seeing, you know, some of the up-and-comer, you know, track makers. So I'm not saying the tracks are bad. I'm saying that they're good tracks for who they are, and we very rarely are seeing top caliber tracks anymore coming out in the MX Bikes mods page, because everybody wants the money from theirs. You make a good track, I understand. You spent a lot of time on it. I respect that. But it's just ridiculous that we are not getting any tracks. Nobody's going half-ass, and nobody's, you know, really getting into the whole, you know, minimizing. Everyone's going above and beyond to make sure that they can make money from their track. So, me personally, I'm not a track maker. And I understand that some of you guys might, you know, say that it's worth the money. But I'm telling you, if listing a solo track, you know, if you have a singular track, and say it's a really top quality track, listed at 50 cents, you'll get way more money than you would than at 20 or at $2. $2 for every purchase. You might actually have a few people, you know, buy it. And I know quite a bit of people actually would buy your track at $2, but for one singular track, I'd go 50 cents. It's a lot more appealing, and you've got to think, you get 4 people. 4 people is back to $2. And if you get 100 and something downloads or whatever it might be, it might even be way more than that. I mean, it's a good, you know, a good bit. It's not like it's healthy, or it's not quite like what you'd be making with 20 bucks, but if it's a singular track or anything like that, or if someone's just putting like 7 tracks into a bundle, whether or not they're good or bad, and, you know, you call it a compound and then you sell it for $5 or $4 or whatever it is, it's kind of ridiculous. So I'm kind of just here to speak my words on that, because I think that is just freaking ridiculous what people are doing right now. I'm not saying the decision making's not there. I'm sure people understand what they're doing, and I understand that they want, you know, they want to be paid for their labor and what they've done and their work. And I understand that's what I'm trying to circle back, and I understand both sides of the whole paid for and not paid for. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Is I understand like where both sides are coming from, and I think that one definitely has a stronger argument, and that is, you know, the whole I mean, along with the Aerial series, right? We don't have any more tracks anymore, really, that you don't have to go out and spend money on. So that's kind of, you know, my perspective on it is we don't have tracks right now that you don't pay for. It's just ridiculous right now. And I'm sure things might change in the future, or we might see, you know, an increase of something or a decrease of others. Things might outweigh itself, and things might change itself, you know, as time goes on. I'm not saying it's going to be like this forever, but I'm just saying $46.50 for a whole entire series is just so ridiculous. I can't even think that. I understand people that are very good at the game and whatnot. You know, you're going to go out and buy that and, you know, do well in the series, going to race pro. But it's still, what the hell are you doing for these bad players, for these worst players that want to just play a damn replica of the AMA series? What are you doing to them? You're making it unavailable, practically. You're making it no point to spend their $2 or $1.50 every single week It's just why? I'd make the race entry. I've already done this, or I already said this. I'd make the race entry 25 cents and the tracks 50 cents. It's as simple as that. You'd still make plenty of money, and I understand if it's not as much as you'd like. I'm not saying you're greedy, but I'm saying that it's like there's got to be a balance at least. So, yeah, I guess that'll be it for me. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like or unsubscribe if you didn't, because I'm sure might pick up a few unsubscriptions here. But yeah, I'm just here to speak my truth, and if you guys want to debate in the comments, make sure to be adult about it. That would be very much appreciated, considering the average viewer's age at this point. So I will make sure to keep you guys updated with this sort of video on kind of how it's going and whatnot. So I will see you guys next time.